104.7 The K, Mike the Intern on the phone with my good friend Aaron from Circa Resort and Casino downtown Las Vegas. Aaron, how are you, sir?
You know, it's getting exciting. The big game's right around the corner, a lot of preparations, and, it's going to be really fun. And this is the first time in a while I really don't have a good feel on what's going to happen in this game. I think there could be so many different ways this game goes, so I'm excited to see it play out.
I'm, of course, excited because the Kansas City Chiefs are my favorite team in the whole world. Of course, he's talking about the NFL championship game between the Chiefs and Eagles, and I don't think you're alone in that assessment because right now, Philadelphia minus 1.5, Chiefs 1.5, and that would basically be a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Here at Circa, we released our line pretty early, and we were considerably off of market. We opened this game at Chiefs minus 2.5. Within a half hour, it had completely flipped all the way. It actually got at one point all the way to Eagles minus 2.5, then eventually settled back down at Eagles minus 1.5. But our director of operations here at the sports book, he really does expect this to close around the pick, and you can see why this matchup is so even on both sides. The past few years, you could see, a couple paths for the way, even in that Chiefs-Buccaneers game. While it surprised a lot of people, I think a lot of people realized there was a possibility with those injuries to the offensive line that game would play very similarly to how it played out. This one, there's like 8 different ways this could play out. This could end up being Mahomes and Kelsey is just better than everybody else on the field. They're going to go up and down the field and dominate. You could see Hassan Reddick just absolutely go off and then get 3 sacks and really screw up this game the way that the Bucs did to the Chiefs a couple of years ago. And you could just see this be an absolute shootout. Both offenses go up and down the field. It could go so many different ways. It is really a fascinating breakdown.
It really is, and you're right. I mean, there are so many different scenarios. It really is going to come down to, I think, who's got the better defense with the Kansas City Chiefs. The order is a tall one because you've got to stop. You have got to stop Jalen Hurts in that run attack, and I believe what the Chiefs are probably going to do is just focus on making him throw the ball and let some of those rookie D-backs step up. And I think that's really the smartest play. Hopefully Chris Jones and Frank Clark have the games they did against the Bengals. But as you mentioned, they were dealing with some injuries on their O-line. So it's kind of one of those things. Anything can happen, but we got some time on our side as far as some of the banged up guys, which is, a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you say that the play is to let Jalen Hurts throw the ball, and you're probably not wrong. Like, you definitely want to contain him. But at the same time, the Eagles, as far as their receivers go, have some of the most explosive, single-game playmakers. A.J. Brown is close to leading the league in 20-plus yard receptions. Obviously, you got Devonta Smith, Wes Watkins, Dallas Goedert, who, by the way, might be one of my favorite props on the board right now. I really do think no matter what happens in this game, the Dallas Goedert over might be the way to go in this one. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. But it's going to be fascinating. By the way, my other favorite prop, at least as of now, obviously these props are still continuing to roll out. I've seen a few places have the Kelsey touchdown a little bit low as minus 110, virtually a coin flip. If you can get it at minus 120 or better, I really do love that. And some places do have it high. I've seen it as high as minus 140, minus 145. If you can get it at minus 120 or better, the Kelsey touchdown is. It seems obvious, but it's still a good play.
Yeah, and those prop bets are a lot of fun because you really get to – it's kind of focusing in on some of the different aspects as opposed to, the spread, the over-under, and all that stuff that you traditionally would do in sports books. So I really like the addition of that and the popularity that we're seeing. And I'm sure you and I will talk more about the national or NFL championship game next week in our conversation. I also wanted to mention there's some pretty good matchups this weekend in college basketball. KU taking on Iowa State. We've got Texas at K-State. We've got Purdue and Indiana. What are you seeing, sir?
It's really getting, I know we're still focusing on the Super Bowl. That is focusing on the NFL championship. But college basketball has heated up so much. I love Big 12 right now, with the exception of Texas Tech, maybe. And obviously Texas Tech, as they showed against Iowa State, can make a huge comeback and win some of these games, but like the entire conference, top to bottom, is tough to play. I saw something where it was like Texas, who right now is projected to win the conference, but it's basically a 4-way tie at the top. When they go down to Texas Tech, they'll only be like a 4-point favorite. That kind of says it all right there, that everyone's so evenly matched in that conference. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and then just something where I've bet on them some, but it's really hard to bet on the Big 12 right now. I will say after Tennessee got that's another big game, Tennessee Auburn over the weekend, and when they got just walloped by Florida last night, I do expect Tennessee to come back, be on a warpath. I really do like Tennessee in that game. And Purdue, Indiana. Indiana's fascinating to me. Trace Jackson Davis is as good as just about anybody in the country, except for maybe Purdue's Zach Edey, who's got runaway right now for the Wooden Award. I do think Purdue is by far the best team in the Big Ten. But after the way that Maryland handled Indiana the other day, again, another situation where I really like bounce-back situations, that's one where I really wonder. I think you're going to find out a lot about Indiana in that game. And I do wonder, depending on what the spread is in that game, I could absolutely see myself playing Indiana in that one.
Well, as always, Aaron, you have some great insight. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And we will talk again next week. You have a great weekend, sir.
Hey, I hope everybody hits their bets if they can, and I hope to see some of you out in Vegas for the big game.